YouTube? Topaz Jace back for another album review, and this one is to that Zero Legendary, and I'm giving this one the green light, pretty much saying you should be going out there and peeping this one out immediately and such, dude. Simply put, these are the types of projects right here that make my top 5 at the end of the year very interesting, because this is definitely making its play. As Zero throughout the year has consistently dropped music and such, this by far is his best body of music right here. To the point that you can ride all the way through this entire project and such, dude. It has some excellent tracks. But yet the problem with these types of projects is sometimes its own music works against itself and such, man. Because as I said, there's no really bad song on this project, but yet there's some phenomenal songs, in which these phenomenal songs kind of take away from the other ones that are just good, so therefore you kind of end up still having some songs that you would skip past. Now I could go on and on about all of these songs like OG, where he's pretty much claiming his status of OG, which he really doesn't have to claim it, because honestly everybody should know this by now, and how he's shouting out other OGs in his region. That Drinking and Smoking, where he's ultimately talking about a super dysfunctional relationship that he was a part of. To that My Time, where he's ultimately talking about how much he values his time and how much better things he can do than waste it with other people and such, man. Solid tracks, but yet they aren't my favorite songs. Really, I'm just gonna focus on my absolute favorite songs, and the songs that I would say go ahead and skip past because they just weren't as strong in comparison. Now these songs that I feel as though aren't bad songs, but personally I would skip past, would be songs like I Can, where he's ultimately talking about how he's gonna go ahead and stun out on everybody simply because he got the possibility of doing that, man. And you know, I'm always against such things because you can use that financing, you can use all of that for your benefit, but I'm never gonna knock him for doing that, man, because whenever a black man in America is brash or confident about his, then everybody got an issue with him. Not so much anybody else, but a black man's supposed to know his place and all of that, man, so I ain't mad at anybody who's stuck. Screwed Up is a track that I would skip past, in which I already made a full review for that, and if you want to see that, man, then you can go ahead and peep out the whole playlist that I have of Zero projects, in which I got the single reviews and the album reviews all up in there. And I feel the same way about I'm Good as well, because that's one of them songs where he's saying no matter all of the hate, no matter what people throw at him, he's always going to be I. And that song just really isn't as good as the other song that's pretty much along the same exact premise, which is that It's Okay song, where that one is just better produced, just an overall better quality song, to the point that you really wouldn't want to listen to the other one. Other songs I really love off of this project was that Never Wrote, where Zero is just spitting on him. That I Know, where he's ultimately talking about how he knows that people are secretively hating on him, but then he also touches on the things that he doesn't quite know, and that's the thing that he applies his faith to. Now my absolute favorite song would be that Riding Through the City, where what he's doing is he's combining two different types of songs and such that most people usually don't do and such. That whole back then didn't want me, now I'm hot, now they all on me type joint, but he's combining it with like some slab riding music and such, and that's really a H-Town type thing. And it just works so perfectly and such, man. That is absolutely my favorite song on it. And I also like that Dome Cushion Codeine and such, in which the title pretty much explains it all. Overall, an excellent project. I recommend people to go out there and cop, man. I give this joint a 9 out of 10. But this concludes today's review, man, and now we're going to jump into a brief instrumental from underground producer 6PA before we jump into the news, and then jump into an article from downloadpads.com. So have you guys seen this whole list of planned protests for Trump's presidency and such that just came out? Like, this came out so quick, and it's like a nationwide and international type organization type thing, man. And this is all of these liberals and such that came together to organize this in a heartbeat. And you know, this shows us multiple things on both levels. This shows us that all of these liberals that want to claim to be so powerless, who only want to just come out and march with you and they ain't got no power to do anything, they're going to show us exactly the lengths of their power to try to get Trump out of there, bruh. And this is something we could definitely take notes and realize that they never been on our side for real. Now these conservatives are copping pleas, calling fouls, and all of this stuff after they spent all of these months just spewing nothing but hatred, after they spent all of these months just spitting nothing but hatred towards people and such, man. This is going to be interesting. And all I'm saying is, as black people, do not go out there and join these protests. But anyway, on to today's article from downloadpads.com, and today's article is about no allies. And you know what? This is another thing that you guys need to be taking notes of, because these are things that I've said for a long time, but now it's ultimately being proven to be true and such. Because here's the thing. Everybody want to talk that, oh, the black and brown, all the Latinos and all of that. You guys are minorities and you guys work together, and I've never run with that. And as these poll numbers and such come back on what races voted for who and such, you see that 50% of those Latinos and such that people say is on black people's side, they voted for Trump. So miss me with the whole policies that's based on minorities and all that, man, because one, we don't see that, and two, none of these other races are really on our side and such. Man. Now, as individuals, yes, we all have friends that's outside of our own races and everything, man, but as a people, they vote as blocks against us. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me at Twitter up there, and you can go to downloadpads.com, that's down there, to read today's article.